No, I'm not speaking parcel tongue, but I am going to be talking to you today about something just as scary. XSS, or cross-site scripting, is a type of vulnerability where a hacker can inject arbitrary JavaScript code into your application, into the front end. And we're going to take a look at that today with our freaking fast forecast app that we created earlier. So here we have an app and we can pass in this location object. So I can take a look at the weather for Portland, Oregon. And when I hit that search query, a couple things are going to happen. We're going to store the location in the URL here, and then we're going to load the page, and we're going to see that we're showing the weather for Portland, Oregon. It's going to be a lovely day. It's wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. But we have one little issue here. Now, I may have, or you may have noticed, but I noticed as a hacker that I'm able to share this location. So if I take this URL and paste it somewhere else, I will get the same experience and it'll load up on the page, which makes me think, I wonder if I can put other stuff on the page with that same logic. So if I were to add in this secret incantation where I say, alert, all your weathers belong to us. And then I just close that off. We can see that when I submit this search request, we get this different experience where we have a browser, or we have a box on the page that pops up and says, all your weathers belong to us. And that's kind of weird. And also, the weird thing is, if we pass that to someone else with the same URL, they get the same experience. Now that is a bad thing, because what it is doing, it is on our dev tools. If we look at where that weather is coming in, we can see that the script is being added to the page as plain HTML, which means it can be executed as JavaScript, which can run arbitrary code that someone else provided on our page. This is bad because it could open us up to sharing private information or security keys or downloading malicious code onto our device. So we don't want to allow that in our application. So let's look at the code where that's happening and see how we can fix it. Here is the page where it's being built out, and this is the section here that I'm specifically adding the location to the page from the query string. So if we have weather data, or if we don't have weather data, we say there's no weather data for the location, and if we do, we say this is the weather for the location. Now this location here is where that vulnerability exists, and we can fix it by putting that location and passing it through a function called escape HTML. And if I add that and we look at our code now, let's see, let's close that. Let's reload this example. And it's going to take a minute for the dev server to catch up. And there we go. Now we're no longer getting that little pop-up. Instead, we're seeing that we are getting the script printed to the page as a string, as expected, and it's secure. We're not susceptible to that vulnerability. Now, in my application, how did I accomplish this with this escape HTML function? It's a simple function that takes a string of text and replaces some of the characters that could cause vulnerability issues with their HTML encoded equivalents. So right here, ampersand, less than, greater than, double quotes and single quotes are replaced with their HTML equivalents. Now, this is a very simple function, and it works for our example because I'm only using it in one specific area where I'm putting the entire string onto the page in between some paragraph tags. It's not foolproof. If you need something that's a little bit more foolproof, I would look up a NPM dependency called DOM Purify. There we go, there it is. And this dependency is a lot more full-featured and covers a lot more edge cases. So always good to use something that is very tried and tested. And another thing that I would encourage you to do is check out the owasp.org website, specifically on cross-site scripting, what it is, how it happens, how to avoid it, things like that. Well, what it comes down to is to make sure that when you're taking user-generated content and injecting it onto the page, that you are making sure to escape that content so that it is secure and you don't open yourself up to cross-site scripting attacks. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation, and I hope that it helped you keep your sites safe. I will catch you next time.